Intro. The 24-hour countdown to constitutional midnight, ladies and gentlemen. The clock has officially started ticking. In exactly 24 hours, the British monarchy and the government are set to collide in a way that hasn't been seen in modern history. The time for polite warnings and diplomatic whispers is entirely over. According to Hyle Palace insiders who have spoken exclusively under the condition of strict anonymity, Prince William has just initiated what aides are terrified to call by its true name, the nuclear option. The atmosphere inside Buckingham Palace tonight is not just tense, it is frozen. Senior staff have been ordered to clear their diaries immediately. Constitutional experts have been summoned through the back entrances, hidden from the prying eyes of the press, and Prince William, the man the world usually sees as the calm, dutiful heir, has reportedly locked himself in a strategy room with his most trusted inner circle. The message being drafted, and now we understand successfully delivered, is not a request for negotiation. It is a stone-cold ultimatum. What triggered this sudden escalation? As we reported previously, Prime Minister Keir's government believed they could push through their radical reform without royal resistance. They banked on the monarchy's tradition of silence. They banked on William being too cautious to rock the boat. They were wrong. Sources say that when the Prime Minister's office ignored William's initial private warning, dismissing it as mere royal jitters, they made a catastrophic miscalculation. They didn't just annoy the future king, they backed him into a corner. And as any historian will tell you, a cornered royal with the weight of a 1,000-year-old institution on his shoulders is a dangerous force. Within the last hour, a secure channel communication was allegedly sent from Kensington Palace directly to Downing Street. It didn't contain pages of legal arguments. It contained a deadline: 24 hours. That is the precise window Prince William has given Keir to publicly retract the controversial clauses of his policy. If the deadline passes without a reversal, William is prepared to unleash a constitutional mechanism that has been gathering dust for decades. A move so the ultimatum, William's secure message to Downing Street aggressive, so unprecedented in the 21st century that it would effectively bypass the Prime Minister's authority and take the case directly to the British people. This is scorched earth. One terrifyingly candid text message from a government aide revealed just minutes ago. He's not bluffing. He's ready to burn the protocol to save the crown. The panic in Westminster is real. Ministers are scrambling to understand if William actually has the power to do what he threatens. But the terrifying truth keeping them awake tonight is that he does. And he is now less than 24 hours away from pressing the button that changes everything. Across the city, inside number 10 Downing Street, the mood couldn't be more different. While the palace has gone ominously silent, the Prime Minister's residence has erupted into what one terrified staffer described as controlled chaos. When the ultimatum landed, it wasn't delivered by a standard courier or a polite royal echo. It came through a back channel usually reserved for top-tier national security emergencies. That fact alone sent a chill down the spine of Starmer's chief of staff, signaling that the rules of engagement had fundamentally changed. Keir Starmer, a man who prides himself on legal precision and cool-headedness, was reportedly visibly shaken by the contents of the message. For months, his most aggressive advisers had assured him that the royal family was a toothless tiger, that they would grumble in private, but ultimately bow to the government's will. They promised him that Prince William was too concerned with his public image, too obsessed with being the modern royal to risk a messy constitutional brawl. Tonight, those same advisers are looking at the floor, realizing they have severely underestimated the Prince of Wales. They misread his silence for weakness. And that mistake might cost them everything. The nuclear option William threatened isn't just a metaphor. It is a very real, very obscure legal reality. Government legal teams are currently scrambling, pulling dusty files from the archives, desperately trying to interpret the royal prerogatives that William is hinting at. They are realizing with growing horror that the monarchy still holds reserve powers that haven't been touched since the Victorian era. Powers that, if invoked, could theoretically freeze the government's ability to pass this legislation instantly. The government thought they were playing a game of public relations. But William is playing a game of hard constitutional But the immediate danger for Starr isn't just legal, it's political suicide. He knows that if William goes public, if the future king stands before the nation and declares that the government is attacking the constitution, public opinion will swing violently. The Prime Minister is now facing a nightmare scenario, a popularity contest against the most popular man in Britain. And with the clock ticking down, the government has begun to panic. Instead of seeking a truce, they are preparing to fight dirty. Whispers are already starting to circulate that Downing Street is preparing to leak damaging personal narratives to discredit the prince before he can speak. The war has officially moved from the shadows to the trenches, and the government is realizing they might be outgunned. Back within the fortified walls of the palace, a scene reminiscent of a wartime bunker is unfolding. Prince William is no longer acting as the lone modernized royal. He has summoned the old guard. In a move that has stunned royal watchers, insiders confirm that William has recalled 3 former senior aides who served under the late Queen Elizabeth II, men known in the corridors of power as the men in grey suits. These are the enforcers, the fixers, the masters of constitutional dark arts, who know exactly where the bodies are buried in Westminster. By bringing them back into the fold, William is sending a panic in number 10. Does he actually have this power? Terrifying signal. He is not fighting this battle with modern PR tactics. He is fighting it with old-school institutional ruthlessness. The atmosphere in this makeshift war room is described as cold, clinical, and terrifyingly precise. They aren't looking at Twitter trends or opinion polls. They are looking at the Privy Council protocols. Specifically, sources suggest they are examining a mechanism known as the right to warn, a constitutional privilege that allows the monarch, or in this acting capacity, to formally advise against government action that threatens the realm. But William isn't just planning to warn. He is planning to weaponize this right in a way that hasn't been done since the abdication crisis of 1936. The plan is to leak the content of his warning to the public, effectively forcing a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister's judgment without ever stepping foot in Parliament. Crucially, there is one question everyone is asking. Where is King Charles in all of this? Until an hour ago, the narrative was that the king was trying to mediate, playing the role of the peacemaker. But new intelligence suggests a stunning twist. The king has not ordered William to stand down.